today, it's been reported that Mike Tyndall's best man and rugby teammate Ian Balshaw is having to submit a draft of his best man speech to Buckingham Palace ahead of Mike's wedding to Zara Phillips in the summer. The reason for the submission is so that royal officials can vet its contents to ensure that the material is suitable for the ears of the wedding guests, including, of course, Her Majesty the Queen. So, do you think that a best man speech should be tailored to his audience? And should there be a vetting process?
I think that there should be, in this instance, yes, when royalty is present, I do, because, you know that sometimes it can be hugely inappropriate, what the best man wants to say about the groom. But I think, more than that, I think they should be vetted and edited, because sometimes you're at a wedding, you see the best man get up and he's got like a ream of paper that big, and you just think, oh God, here we go. And you need to go to sleep. They're always too long, always, and they're more often than not, I'm sorry to all those best men out there who did their best, not very funny. So I think they should be vetted so that they are short, and because it just kills the party, doesn't it, when people start going on and on and on and not stopping, a bit like me.
They're not going to be drunk like they'll be, like the best man would be at your wedding, are they? At that wedding, they're going to be sober all the way through. So that makes a difference.
I think they should cast best men. I think they should have like a little agency where you can go and get one for the day. Because you know that he's going to have lots of jokes, he's going to be able to get the right tone, because the tone, it can make or break a whole day, can't it?
Yeah.
I went to one where the best man was talking, and he didn't know the bride very well, which is often the case, because it's usually like the best mates with a groom, and he was telling a story about when they did like an amateur porn film together. Honestly, the parents of the bride were quite...
Did they show it?
Elderly... No!
That would have been the best. That would have been better. Watch this video now.
But it was just so wrong. And then another time, I went to a wedding where... And the father's speech can be just as bad. The father, like you said, had a great big wad of paper like that, got up, looked at it and went... Oh, God. And they were all waiting. And he went, I'm sorry. I can't do it. And it took forever, for ages and ages, to get to every single line. He couldn't get the words out.
I think so.
And then but I mean, it was embarrassing because
it's his daughter's wedding day.
We waited like 40 minutes for him to get through this speech. And at the end of
all his life for that day.
He was waiting all his life for that day and all his life to say to his daughter, he went, she doesn't even know I've kept it all these years. But I'm going to give it to her today. It's the mask I wore when she was born.
Find a mask.
With the hospital one. So he went up to her and presented it to the bride. It was hilarious.
See, that's it. That's why they need to be vetted.
No, I disagree. Do you know what? I've been to some cracking weddings, and it is all in the casting, but there's been some best men speeches that have been absolutely brilliant. They've brought the house down. But there was one I went to where... a musician friend of mine cast a very well-known singer in the role as best man. And everyone was like, oh, this is going to be great. He's a consummate performer. It's going to be brilliant.
You can't say who it is.
No. I can't. It's not fair to him.
Did you take for a drink on Monday?
But no, I can't tell the story anymore. Because you've ruined it.
Oh, no.
Because people know.
We don't know he is.
Yes, but...
OK, I went to one. I went to a wedding and the best man got up and actually said in his speech that he'd been having an affair with the bride for the last 2 years. Not really. Do you know what? I'm sure I saw that in a film.
Do you ever watch these videos of weddings? Why do they always faint? Don't they? It's either the best man or the groom. They always faint. What is that down to?
I've never been to a wedding where anyone's fainted.
You watch all those videos. They faint. They faint when they get to that altar. It must be something to do with God and things. And they go, I'll faint here now. But the thing is, when I had my wedding, my brother did was my ex's best man, and he did a speech and he did a poem, and it was all about me and him as children. And it went on forever. It was absolutely brilliant, and I was going, and my ex was going,
because it didn't include it.
That's why it was brilliant. But the worst thing is when they get drunk, though, is when when they fall over. I went to one, and this best man goes up and he was like, he couldn't remember anybody's name. He couldn't remember the bride's name, the groom's name, or the bride's name. And he was just going, and you, what's your name? Anyway, I've known him for how long? 25. What? And he just fell over in the end.
See?
It was brilliant. That's the best way.
It's a disaster.
So
who was it?
Who was it then?
She's ruined it. It was such a good one as well. It involved all kinds of disgusting anecdotes.
It wasn't who I said.
Brilliant. If you've got something to say about best man speeches or any other topics that we're going to be discussing today, then send them in. We'll vet them, of course. And